Hey guys, I'm BoboTheVulture. You got a screen or two of, you know, very little audio, very little video. You just got blank gray for a moment before I said hello. You guys recognize Dream Daddy at this point. It's been going for quite some time. We're going to click to continue, and we are going to continue. Because we've gotten a couple of epilogues on the books here. Unfortunately, they don't really tell us what the epilogues are, like the little preview pictures that we see of them now. Which I guess is a little bit unfortunate. But let's go ahead and load the most recent dad book, because that'll be where we've gotten 2 dates with every dad. And I guess confirmed they're all dates, because anytime that we click on somebody from this point on, they say, you know what they say about third dates. So, as you recall from 2 episodes ago, we helped Matt out at his open mic night and had a beautiful night and appeared to be interested in going farther and continuing along with Matt. Craig, we had an interesting encounter with while we were out camping. It was just the 2 of us, and we tried to get him at least to let go a little bit for all of the extra hard work that he tries to do to be the best dad that he possibly can be. Time will only tell whether or not that's the dad I become, or whether or not I, continue to LP. Huh. But he just wanted to be friends, because he had to devote too much of his life to making everything as good as possible for his children. Craig, you gotta realize you gotta be there too for the kids. You can't just be a workaholic basket case and think that's not gonna have some effect on them too. Craig. So let's go through our prescribed rotation here one last time. And I'm interested to see how things are going to work out with old Hugo here. I'm interested to see what our final date will be like, because he opened up a new aspect of his personality, showed it to us on our second date that at least seems quote unquote incongruous with his studious academician style personality that he seems to show to the outside world. But then he's got his room of wrestling. Turns out there are some smart wrestling fans out there. And I'm not just talking about smart wrestling fans, the ones that like to chant things like, "We are awesome." Anyhow, let's send a message to Hugo Vega. You know what they say about third dates? They get pretty serious. You sure this is your dream daddy? I mean, for purposes of this video, I am sure. Make sure I'm recording, by the way. I mean, I can obviously load and go back and do this again, but who wants that? First is the worst, second is the best, third is the one with the hairiest chest. I don't have the hairiest chest. I've seen Arn Anderson. And that one guy from Los Pericuas. Why do I feel like that's come up more than once during this LP? This specific LP, not just all. You know, like videos that I've put up in recent history. Ever since the first night at Charcuterie Pies, Hugo and I have made a point out of weekly visits to trivia night. Havarti, like it's 1999, has come in first place ever since, despite Provolone 2, lost to New York's continual efforts to dethrone us. Been able to do a complete overhaul of the interior of my car thanks to all of the Phil's Auto Care gift cards we've received. Air fresheners, car chargers, you name it. Matt is riding in the lap of luxury. Aside from the trivia nights, I don't actually get to see Hugo a lot. The end of the school year is coming up, and he seems to be having a lot of trouble dealing with the stress of teaching. I should do something nice for him. Maybe help him take his mind off of screaming teenagers. Books? He likes books, but I would have no idea where to even start with that. He probably reads more books in a month than I've read in the past year. I know he's really into wrestling, but he's been reluctant to talk about it since he showed me his wrestling room. I know he's kind of shy about it, but maybe... Whatever, let's roll the dice. I think I have a plan.
Hey, alright folks, looks like we finally have the points tallied and we're ready to announce our winner. You know who else is a winner? Me, because I finally see just how beautiful and loving my wife is.
A few weeks ago, all the regulars staged an intervention for Quizmaster Quinn. We sat down in a circle and told him that we wanted to see him be better and love himself. He agreed to start going to couples therapy with his wife, and last time he told us they adopted a dog together. Dog won't fix your problems, man. Don't put that on a dog. I mean, dogs are cool, from what I'm aware of. We have a cat in the house now, but I know Bean would like a dog, and I have no objection aside from the fact that we're about to have a child, and it seemed like we take on one of those things at a time. I don't know.
I love you forever, Quizmaster Queen.
I can't tell which version of Quizmaster Quinn I prefer.
There were things to like and dislike about both, huh? And the winner is, for the 4th week in a row, Havarti like it's 1999.
Yes.
Hugo and I cheers our small slices of camembert, and I go up to accept our gift card, along with an uncomfortably long hug from Quizmaster Quinn. Honestly, like, I'm not necessarily a huge pub trivia guy, but, like, I kind of like the idea of going to the bar quiz if there's going to be charcuterie involved. Just like some little spiced meats. We talked about this last time. This apparently was my single favorite individual date among all of the dates that we've been on so far in Dream Daddy.
May Havarti like it's 1999's reign be as long as wonderful as my marriage to my beautiful wife.
We make our celebratory round of high fives to the rest of the teams and sit down to finish our cheese boards, savoring every last bit of burrata with pesto and slices of tomato. You can have my tomatoes, Hugo. Hey, I got a surprise for you.
For me?
Yes, and for once it isn't more cheese.
Well, if you think you could somehow top that, be my guest.
I pull out a book that I've been carefully hiding in one of my pockets and slide it over to Hugo.
Oh.
Hugo picks up the book and reads the title aloud.
Harry Butts's Crapper Keeper?
I wanted to get you a book, but I figured you probably already own every classical piece of literature, so I thought this would be fun. For when you're pooping. Hugo laughs. You should flip through it. Hugo looks up at me and raises an eyebrow. After flipping through a couple of pages, he finally comes across the small gift I strategically hid inside.
You're kidding me!
Hugo looks around, worried that he made a scene. He leans in.
You're kidding me.
Hugo pulls out the wrestling tickets I hid inside of the Crapper Keeper. Now, I tell you what, folks, some of the best shows I've ever been to, there are literally no paper tickets. You go to their PayPal site, they get your name and your payment, and then you just go, and there's a list. And you get a little armband. That's how it works. Obviously, you go to some of your higher tier shows, you got tickets because you got to show them to somebody, and they got to escort you to your seats in your big old arena, but you know what I'm talking about here.
This is to the World Federation of Wrestling's Power Slam series.
Oh, man. You've been working so hard lately. I thought you'd like them.
Like them? I love this, thank you. But wait, there's two?
Yeah, I figured we could go together.
You'd go with me?
Heck yeah. I'd need you to explain the finer points of wrestling to me, though. Hugo gets up, walks around the table, and effortlessly picks me up in a big bear hug. Has he been this strong the whole time?
Thank you.
I let out a little squeak to sort of say, you're welcome. Like that, I guess. It's the night of the Power Slam. Hugo shows up at my doorstep in a loud, oversized wrestling tee. Pablo Escobar, Senure Wrestleboy. I guess he's got a favorite tag team. He's a little blushy and extremely cute. What is my favorite pro wrestling shirt? I've got a lot now, just because you end up going to some of these shows and like literally the wrestler is there selling their t-shirt and they just put on a good match. And even if you don't think you're gonna have lots of opportunities to wear this t-shirt, you kind of just want to help the guy out a little bit. And you know, I mean, I work from home now. I have the opportunity to wear t-shirts whenever I want. We drive about an hour to another city for the big event. Hugo spends the entire ride teaching me about the basics of wrestling, the terminology I need to know. Oh, this is a big stadium. So, it's fake, right?
Well, yes and no. While wrestling and the act of hurting another wrestler is fake, the work requires remarkable athleticism and oftentimes results in actual injury. Those people are getting hurt, sure, but not in the way we're led to believe.
Well, and a certain amount of literally being hurt is built into every match, every time somebody takes a fall.
Historically, wrestling as we know it today was created by carnival workers to fix gambling, and the people who actually believed it to be real and would bet on these matches were called marks.
Oh man, so the Carnies, they are the original wrestlers. No wonder they're so good at their tag team skills. They dominate the Mid-Atlantic.
That we know that it's technically fake, but still choose to suspend our disbelief makes us smarks, smart marks.
So, I should be watching this for the acrobatics? I mean, a little bit.
And the tension, and the drama, and even the storylines. I think that anyone can tell a good story. You just have to look for the story. Even something like what we're about to experience will tell a phenomenal, sometimes understated story, despite a ridiculous premise.
Wow.
What?
I just really wouldn't have pegged you for a huge wrestling fan.
Nobody does. I get it. I'm the button-down teacher type. I like poetry and art history. I write dissertations on heavy tomes by Russian authors for fun. But I like wrestling. It's a big part of who I am, but because it's considered kind of lowbrow, I feel like I can't share it with anybody because they'll just make fun of me.
Till now? Hugo smiles to himself.
Till now.
Hugo and I enter the stadium and are directed to the upper level. After grabbing some snacks, we make our way up the set of stairs. The further up we go, the more my heart sinks. I thought we had gotten good seats, but by this point the ring looks like a postage stamp. We finally settle into our spots and wait for the match to start. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I got us tickets on the lower level. We look over to Hugo, who apparently didn't even hear me. He's vibrating with excitement.
This is so cool.
I mean, your first wrestling show is kind of cool, even when you are a ways back. I think the first wrestling show I ever went to that I am recalling properly was WCW World War III, which was a 60-man, 3-ring battle royal, so already it was kind of weird. Plus, it was fun in the idea that basically you're going to get to see every wrestler that's in WCW at that point in time. Like, I don't have that many guys that they have to hold back. Like, you're seeing Bunkhouse Buck, you're seeing the Yeti, you know, after the Dungeon of Doom angle where they had nothing else to do with him. I guess he doesn't mind.
I have to admit, I've been too embarrassed to come to one of these since I was a kid.
What's there to be embarrassed about? Everyone here loves wrestling. Plus, who are we even going to see that we know? We're like an hour out of Maple Bay.
Well, I guess you're right.
So what do we have to look forward to tonight?
Oh man, the lineup is stacked. All the matches are going to be great, but the one I'm really looking forward to is the Eastern Dragons match.
Pretty sure we saw Ultimo Dragon in World War III.
The Eastern Dragon? Yeah, I used to wrestle as Pablo Escobar, but I guess he eventually had to change it.
Oh, there you go. He's got a Pablo Escobar shirt.
He's doing the wrestling hipster thing where he's like, I know you from back when. Wrestler names are weird. He's actually an Iranian guy from Utah.
Oh, so that's what your shirt's from.
Yep, I've been following the guy since his debut in an indie wrestling league, and it's been amazing to see him rise through the ranks and into the professionals.
Who's he up against?
The corporate shill. Technique-wise, I don't think he's that good of a wrestler, and I don't even think the fans like him. Certainly an interesting character, though.
Yes.
The stadium lights dim. The crowd starts screaming. Butt rock blasts through the sound system, and some pyrotechnics set off around the ring. I've never heard the term butt rock before. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen of the sold-out crowd in Mill Creek, Massachusetts.
Oh, now we get to know roughly where this is supposed to be.
Who's ready to power slam?
You go and I scream. We watch two wrestlers, the Southern Dandy and Johnny Snowman, walk out to even more butt rock. The Southern Dandy mixes and drinks a mint julep in the ring before the match. The crowd eats it up. Oh, fuck, I love the Southern Dandy.
The Southern Dandy's from Maine.
Yeah. I know how all this sort of thing goes. Is Johnny Snowman not from the North Pole?
He's from Georgia, actually.
After a long match, Johnny Snowman, who's dressed up like a muscular elf, does what Hugo calls a German suplex on the Southern Dandy. Okay, Katie, you want to hop up? I don't know what's happening, but this is amazing. What did I just watch? Dude, get into it. Start cheering. Pick a favorite.
Kill him, Johnny!
Elbow the heck out of him, Johnny. Show that Southern Dandy some North Pole manners. I mean, I'm guessing, yeah, he's probably the face of this. The Southern Dandy is probably a bad guy. Especially in Massachusetts. They don't like Southerners there, do they, Hazel? I don't even know that that's necessarily true. Johnny Snowman does indeed elbow the heck out of him. That's gotta hurt. Hey, he took your advice. Oh God, is he okay?
Wrestling is a sport of communication. All these guys train together to know not only how to perform moves, but how to respond to them. It allows them to look like they're being hurt, but only be kinda hurt.
Man, if it's quiet enough for him to provide this explanation during the wrestling show, then they have a really dead match. Although I did actually see a match once that was just really good. It was between two not huge name guys, but big name guys. And the crowd actually was kind of quiet for a moment. I just had to yell up to them. It's like, don't worry, guys, we're just in awe. The crowd cheers as Johnny Snowman pins the Southern Dandy and is announced as the winner. The next match features a wrestler named Generation Y2K who comes out looking like a hipster barista. He takes selfies with the fans on the way up to the ring and pauses after each one to post it to Instagram and put people on the list. He's really playing up the millennial thing, huh?
He's sort of the boogeyman to old-timer wrestling fans.
I mean, the boogeyman to old-time wrestling fans is this guy who is not tough enough, but you know, then he told them he was too old, or he was older than he actually initially said because he was above the age limit, and they cut him. But people liked him enough. He came back and did this weird gimmick where he smashed clocks over his head and spat worms out of his mouth. It was weird. His opponent, the old timer, walks out. Oh. The crowd seems to be divided in who they're rooting for. The old timer pulls some pretty sweet moves after he takes out a walking cane from under the stage and beats Generation Y2K over the head with it. Is it a hardcore match or did he distract the ref? Because if he's supposed to be a face and he's using illegal weapons while the ref is distracted, I'm not into that. Up against the ropes, Generation Y2K blinds the old timer with a flash in his camera phone and is able to pin him with a match. He takes a celebratory selfie with his unconscious opponent. Man, they're both big cheaters. We'll just presume it was some variety of Extreme Rules match. During a break, Hugo and I leave to get refills from the concession stand. We wind our way through clusters of wrestling fans to get to the line.
So, what do you think so far?
It's just okay. It's actually really cool. I'm glad I'm here with you. It's just okay. It certainly seems like it's pissing in his cornflakes. I'm glad I'm here with you. Could be really cute and romantic, depending on how you say it, or it could just be that sort of way that people say things to be supportive while also acknowledging that they are not specifically enjoying the event in and of itself. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's actually really cool. This is amazing. Why didn't I get into wrestling sooner? You know, I'm kind of surprised. I was expecting the crowd to just be a bunch of aggressive, sweaty older guys, but it's so diverse. I've even seen a bunch of families with their kids. Everyone looks super happy to be here.
Oh yeah, that's how I got into wrestling. When I was a kid, my dad used to take me and my brothers to matches all the time.
There's one gaggle of kids loitering in a corner that are exceptionally loud, even over the din of the stadium. Looking closer, I can't help but feel like these kids seem familiar. Oh God, I know these kids. They're Hugo's students. So, don't turn around when I tell you this, but some of your students are here. Hugo immediately tenses up.
Oh my God, I can't let them see me here. They'll never listen to me ever again.
I position myself between the kids and Hugo, hoping that I can act as a human shield. I glance over at the group of children again, and I recognize that Colin kid. He kicks one of his friends in the shin and laughs. Man, that Colin kid is a piece of work.
Colin? If he sees me here, he'll never let it go. He's a master manipulator.
We have to get back to the relative safety of our seats.
What's the plan?
For, considering the size of the stadium, if we're pretending this is a WWE event, we need to go get him a sheep mask so that he put it over himself and pretend he's that one member of the Wyatt family, whose name I always forget, but is the one who wears the sheep mask. This is a sneaking mission. Create a diversion. Just walk back to your seats. I tend to think that by creating a diversion, or it being a sneaking mission, calling it a sneaking mission, that all that you're going to actually end up doing is drawing attention to you being there. Like, if you just walk away, especially if you don't walk away in the direction of the kids, you have the option of going around, then, in a crowd of people at a big arena, nobody's going to notice you. But that's logic-y. I don't know if create a diversion is supposed to lead me into a mini-game, but I think we just walk back to our seats. We just play it casual. That seems like it's the best route. I don't know if that'll be the best way for the game to actually play out here. Hazel is sort of leaned up against me, and she is kneading her paws. Making biscuits, as they say, whatever the term it is that you want to do. She's doing it to my stomach. She is not declawed. And she has found a way. One of her paws has managed to lift up my shirt enough that she is now kneading with one paw on my bare tummy. And it's a little painful. But she's so dang happy. Let's walk back to our seats. I think the best strategy here is to hide in plain sight. Be casual. Be super casual. We'll just waltz right in and nobody will be any the wiser. Huh? Are you sure that'll work? Like a charm. Hugo and I just start walking toward the doors. Colin and his friends are so busy throwing garbage at each other that they don't notice. Little heart from off the side of the screen. Wow, that was easy. Hugo and I sit down and breathe a huge sigh of relief. Whew, that was close. Now we can hide out for the rest of the night and enjoy ourselves in the comfort of anonymity within a large crowd. The lights dim again. This is the match we've been waiting for. Well, it's the match you've been waiting for. The corporate shill walks out to elevator music. He's wearing a three-piece suit and sunglasses. Oh my god, it's JG! Once he gets to the ring, he takes off his sunglasses and rips the sleeves off of his suit jacket, flexing his arms for the crowd. One of the people from his entourage produces a graph chart and sets it up in the center of the ring. The corporate shill grabs a microphone. I got a message for the Eastern Dragon. If you refer to the graph in the center of the ring, you'll see a quarterly projection of how much I'm about to kick your ass. The whole crowd erupts. Now, if you'll direct your attention to the Jumbotron, we all look up at a PowerPoint presentation called Kicking the Eastern Dragon's Ass, Key Performance Indicators. Corporate Shill takes a laser pointer and gives a lengthy presentation on just how and why he'll defeat the Eastern Dragon. He showcases several well-utilized clip art graphics. That was informative. The lights dim again. A pan flute music plays. I think it's a pan flute? I'm actually not sure if I know what a pan flute sounds like. The Eastern Dragon walks out to cheers from the crowd. Aren't pan flutes a Central America thing? Hugo shrugs. Wrestling. The Eastern Dragon stands outside of the ring and grabs a microphone. Corporate Shill, it's nice to see you again. More cheers from the crowd. That was a good presentation. The clip art was a very nice touch. He points to the corporate shill menacingly. I'm looking forward to a nice and exciting match. The crowd doesn't really know what to do here. He's not the best at trash talk, but I promise he's one of the most talented wrestlers you'll ever see. The match starts, and it's just as exciting as Hugo hyped it up to be. The Eastern Dragon performs some ridiculous aerial stunts that make me concerned for his safety. He does what Hugo calls a moonsault from the top rope onto the corporate shill. Nice. The air in the stadium is electric as these two athletes lock arms and try to demolish one another. I can't help but get into it. The corporate shill pile drives the Eastern Dragon, who looks passed out in the center of the ring. He climbs up to the top rope and motions to the cheering crowd. The Eastern Dragon? Even though he's passed out? Oh no, he's about to do his finishing move, the corporate ladder. Okay, the corporate shill is on the top turnbuckle. Corporate shill poses at the top of the ropes. The Eastern Dragon still isn't moving. Could this be the end of his young career? Get up, Eastern Dragon! You could do it, Eastern Dragon! The corporate shill launches off the top rope in a huge arch. He brings his elbow down on the Eastern Dragon with the full force of a Fortune 500 company putting local vendors out of business. The corporate shill pins the Eastern Dragon and the match ends. Hugo sinks into his chair.
Man, he should have won that.
I sit down with Hugo. What a match.
It was amazing.
I think I'm a fan of wrestling now? Hugo looks over to me and our eyes catch.
I'm glad.
The event goes on and we have a little downtime before the next match. We decide to just relax in our seats to avoid the middle schoolers. It's unlikely they would ever notice us in the upper level nosebleeds. I look up at the Jumbotron. Oh hey, they're doing the kiss cam thing. It zooms in on a bunch of cute couples who all do quick smooch to raucous cheers from the crowd. Oh, that's so nice.
And then it zooms in on Hugo and I.
What? What? What do I do here? I look over to Hugo and see the same mortified expression on his face. The entire crowd is chanting and neither of us know what to do. Give the crowd what they want. Protect Hugo's identity. Try to ignore it. Honestly, my primary concern here, there are two different things to be considered here. One is Hugo didn't want to be outed as a wrestling fan, and two, we don't know if Hugo's been outed at all as a man who's interested in men. Both of these kind of complicated issues if he believes his students to be here. So, just sort of standing there on the cam? No. Kissing Hugo? No. Let's protect Hugo's identity. I jump in front of Hugo and start giving the camera the finger. They can't show that on television, can they? The camera immediately moves on. I guess all this sweaty violence is fine, but a finger isn't. I probably would have just stood in front of Hugo and started doing muscle poses. But, you know.
Thanks, I think.
I sit down again, trying to ignore the dirty looks I'm getting to people who came here for wholesome content.
So much for laying low, I guess.
The rest of the match thankfully goes off without incident. Hugo and I eventually laugh off the kiss cam and get back into wrestling. After the show ends, he convinces me to hang back and let the rest of the crowd exit so that we wouldn't risk running into Colin and his awful group of friends. Alright. By the time Hugo and I walk back to his car, most of the wrestling fans have cleared out. The parking lot is surprisingly empty, save for a beat-up car parked a few spots down from ours. We warily keep an eye out for any stray middle schoolers as we hang out by my car. Man, that was an experience.
Right? It's one thing to watch it on TV, but to be there in person is just... wow.
It's true.
Thank you. Again, I would have never gotten to experience this if it weren't for you.
It's just me and Hugo in front of the car in an empty parking lot. I look down. Kind of funny. About the kiss cam, huh?
Yeah, it was super funny.
But neither of us are smiling. We look into each other's eyes and I can feel a warmth radiating from my cheeks. We stare at each other for just a little bit too long.
Hey, cool shirt.
I turn around to see a guy in a hoodie and basketball shorts walking up to us, a duffel bag slung over his shoulder.
I haven't seen one of those in years.
Huh?
Oh my god. Yeah, I got it from a trade with this guy from streetsmarks.net.
I love that website. Someone always posts these awesome, super detailed breakdowns of matches in the indie circuit. Have you seen those? It's like, I something.
JD Slaminger?
Yeah, that's him.
Those are my write-ups.
You're JD Slaminger? You're kidding. Oh man, I'm such a huge fan of your work. It's so nice to meet you.
The man vigorously shakes Hugo's hand.
I'm honored.
Oh man, I wish I could stay and chat. I have so many questions, but I'll PM you on the forums if you ever want to talk shop.
Absolutely.
The man starts walking away. Hugo coughs nervously to get his attention again.
Is there any chance you could sign my shirt?
I would ask for a picture or something, but, you know, everybody's a little different. The guy turns around and beams.
Sure thing.
Wait. It all finally clicks into place for me.
You're the Eastern Dragon. I love your work. Haha, thank you, man.
The Eastern Dragon signs Hugo's shirt, waves goodbye, and walks to his car. I stand there with my mouth open the entire time. Oh, it's fun. One time, I was at a show with JG, and guy walked in and with a duffel bag, asked which way the locker room was, pointed him to it because I'd been to that particular venue before. And I think, yeah, like JG turned to me and asked, like, "Hey, was that?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah, no, that was Son of Havoc." He did not have his like sort of weird half mask on or anything, but that's an example of that sort of thing. He's probably maybe the trying to think of who the most famous guy that I've ever had a personal interaction with would be. I once complimented Donovan Dijak on a match that he had, who I think is now in NXT. That was the Eastern Dragon.
Oh.
He likes my work.
Dude, you're like friends with the Eastern Dragon now.
He's gonna PM me.
Hugo and I high five. He's so excited he's shaking.
Mr. Vega?
Oh man. Colin and his cronies just pop up out of nowhere. Oh no, here we go.
Sweet Manchego.
Colin, nice to see you and your friends all the way out here.
What are you doing here? I don't see a library anywhere near us.
I was watching the Power Slam series with my friend.
Pah, Mr. Vega likes wrestling. What a fart knocker.
Actually, that's pretty cool.
Shut up, dickweed.
Nah, man. That's actually rad as hell.
Who were you just talking to? Probably one of your stupid book nerd friends.
Actually, he was talking to his good buddy, the Eastern Dragon.
All of Colin's friends gasp. Guys, come on, he's lying. There's no way the Eastern Dragon would hang out with these losers.
Oh yeah? How did I get his autograph then?
Colin's friends lose their minds, screaming their heads off. Colin is red with anger.
See you in class, bitch.
You can't say that.
Who's gonna believe you? Oh, this is not a good precedent to set, game. This is not a good precedent to set.
Hugo and I hop into the car to the tune of more children screaming. We laugh all the way home. Hugo and I descend the stairs of his home into his wrestling man cave where we both crack a beer. We're both winding down after an exciting evening. Oh man, a beer sounds good right about now. Although, it's pretty late. So if you were a wrestler, what would your persona be? Hugo answers immediately.
JD Slaminger, my forum name. I gotta respect my literary roots. My costume would be a tweed coat, and my finishing move would be a catcher in the eye, where I poke my opponent's eyes out and call them a phony.
Ugh. Wow.
I've given it a lot of thought. What about you?
I would probably attempt to be one of those unaware sex symbol guys who's like very tubby and out of shape, but believes himself to be super sexy. Or, you know, I would just be the Bobo the Vulture guy that you guys all know and love. Um, hmm. I would be Bomb Clancy, Mario Brawltali, or Dad. I feel like the Dad one's been done before. How about Mario Brawltali? Mario Brawltali. I come out in bright orange Crocs and my hair in a ponytail while I wield a slotted spoon. My finishing move is don't forgetting my spaghetti, where I pin my opponent, force feed them my delicious homemade meatballs. I'm just now realizing I don't actually know any wrestling moves. You know, I could teach you some. I smirk. I'm game. Hugo and I square up in the center of the room, ready to go at it. I'll go easy on you. On Mario Brawltali? Absolutely not. Before I know it, I'm on the floor. Hugo wraps his legs around me and squeezes. I can't move. He comes up to me and says, "You're about to feel the pressure, and then everything will go dark."
Hey,
Oh, never mind. It's a figure four.
This is a figure 4 leg lock. If I were applying full force right now, you would be in extreme pain.
He effortlessly twists around again and grabs my arm. Good lord, he's strong. Any movement on my end is useless.
And this is an arm bar.
You're
Pretty good.
oh,
You can tap out anytime you like.
Not a chance.
Hugo flips around one last time on top of me. He hooks his arm under my leg, presses his body down on my chest. Oh, has he got me in a half grab?
And this is me pinning you.
Oh, okay. Our faces are inches apart right now. I can't tell if I'm breathing heavily because of the physical activity or because of something else. Go for it or tap out, you coward. I mean, you gotta go for it in life, right? I lean forward and kiss Hugo, who seems just as surprised as I am. I pull back, a little embarrassed, but he kisses me again. He slowly releases his submission hold on me and cradles my face in his hands. He presses his forehead against mine and we laugh. I mean, now that I've seen that you can have the non-best ending, I don't wanna tap out. Were I actually in this situation, I probably would have attempted to wrestle him, but had I then gone on to wrestle him, I probably would have just tapped out right then. Although no, you can't tap out when you're in a pinfall predicament. What the hell are you doing, Hugo? You were supposed to count to 3.
I guess we both win?
Guess so. Pull him back in for another kiss. Do you have any more moves to show me?
I think I might have a few.
Then we go back to the Rush albums. This date is complete. Luchador, submission, Tweed. Good score.
I'm JK rolling with delight.
Asia Go-Getter. Always try your best at everything. You know, there's a cap to how much you can contribute to your personal IRA every year, so it's true. Invest early, invest often. Whew. I think I have everything finally set up. Matt should be here any minute now. I think that's her car in the driveway. All right. This is, what? No. Sorry, sweetie, it's the feds. Let's go into you ask too many questions this time. Who do you think you are, my daughter? For literally my entire life, yes. I'm kidding. You're right, I have a little surprise for you. It's the party. Oh, wow. And now we've got Hugo out in his Pablo Escobar shirt. You know, if I got my shirt signed by a pro wrestler who's super famous at this point, I might not actually wear the shirt out because then every time you launder it, you run the risk of washing that signature out, right? I think I only have one signed piece of clothing. I have a hat that is signed by Formula One driver Giancarlo Fisichella, but and I don't wear that one for two reasons. One, I would hate to ruin it, so then I would have to launder it, and then, you know, that whole signature thing. And two, it's kind of a small hat. I mean, it fits, sort of, but, you know. Not to make a big deal, everyone's here, mac and cheese, everything's going. Oh wow, Quizmaster Quinn. Bobo Quizmaster, and like Spin Master, I guess. Hey, who's ready for a crazy graduation party? You don't have to be on right now, Quinn. It's just a party. What do you mean? It's the you know what? Keep the energy. Hold it close. You deserve it. Just like me and my loving wife deserve happiness, right? You know it. Alright, so. So there you go. We're getting new characters because of things. Bro, it's a real rager. Yep. Keep an eye on your fruit punch intake. Glad we're bros again. Yep. Just bros. I understand how it is.
Hey.
And Margarita Zone. You know. My man. You know, I really do have warm feelings of friendship for most of these folks. Hey, Ernest. Thanks for being nice to my dad. Ernest? Really? Thanks for being nice to my dad. Whoa. People are really mean to him sometimes. I mean, I guess I am too. But he seems really happy when you're around, so, you know, that's cool. Geez, Ernest, I don't know what to say. You know, I think people got you pegged wrong. You got a soft side. If you tell anyone about this, or that you saw me weeping at the theater, I'm gonna set your trash can on fire. There it is. Also, you don't know me. Before I can respond, Ernest walks away, a cloud of vapor trailing behind him. Oh no, he's vaping! Well, that was at least a little pleasant. Party starts to wind down. Amanda wanders over and sits next to me. It's a picture together. I'm crying. Present time. We hug. It's sweet. Looks like someone's been waiting to talk to ya. Glance over to the back of the yard where Hugo's sitting on a bench beneath our cherry blossom tree. He smiles at me. I'll leave you to it. Me and the Emmas are gonna go ice cream. And she says, "Papew. Love you, Pops." And runs off to join her friends. Take a seat next to Hugo as the last guests make their way out of the party. Cool shirt. Thanks. Reminds me of a special night. So the secret's out, huh? Hugo likes wrestling? You know, I was really nervous to come here dressed like this, but everyone in the neighborhood, they were nothing but accepting of me and my hobbies. It turns out Craig's a huge fan, too. What? Craig's a huge fan?
Bro. Colin told everyone at school that I'm into wrestling, but it actually backfired on him. The kids have a weird sort of respect for me now. A few of them even asked me to be the sponsor for their wrestling club. Not the Olympic wrestling. The wrestling that I like. I actually like both, but there's an important distinction, and I think you know which one I'm talking about. Oh, it's true. It's true. See? Just goes to show that there's nothing wrong with being open about what you like. I agree, and as long as I'm being open, I'm also a huge fan of very handsome dads who throw great parties for their kids and love a good word jumble. I blush. And I'm a big fan of... Quick, think of something clever. Hugo's? This Hugo specifically. Hugo laughs.
Yes.
He drapes an arm around my shoulder and pulls me closer. Plants a soft kiss on my forehead. I'm happy here. Me too. Hugo and I watch the sun dip below the horizon together. And it just occurs to me that a fence that height would be against the rules of my HOA. This is another reason that it might be hard to have a dog. 4-foot fence is not enough for a really athletic, larger breed. Hey, do you think maybe later you could show me some new wrestling moves?
Oh.
Bobo, how about I show you my pump-handle piledriver? They're two completely different things, Hugo. Pump-handle slam, the pump-handle drop, also known, I guess, as the Magnum driver. I mean, that's one of Bobo's finishers. The Bobinator. I can't help but giggle. What's that? You'll see. Always try to make others around you happy. And if you fail, fuck them. There you go, guys. This was another happy true romance ending, and I think this was a lot of great fun. I mean, you know that I'm enjoying this game. Glad we got the good ending and that everything could turn out super nice and to the sort of purpose of Dream Daddy with Hugo. Oh my. I feel like we really got into the wrestling motif later on, but he's still there for the cheese. He's still there for the charcuterie and cheese. And we also got this nice cheese and cheesecake image. Ah, there you go, guys. Stored in your banks for later. Or pause the video. I don't know. And relish this image of Hugo. Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Oh, it just fell. Solo from Kid Charlemagne is the greatest guitar solo ever recorded. A lot of people would say that there is this one from... Nah, whatever. Oh, okay. We just have the gallery of guys that we have romanced the right way. I get the sense that maybe we messed up with Craig on the second date when we didn't we didn't manage to solve the case of the missing stuffed animal. But, you know, we'll survive, you and I, gentle viewer, and all of these daddies. But thanks again. This was another episode of Let's Play Dream Daddy. When we come back next time, I guess we're gonna see what things look like when you get talking to Joseph. It's possible that because we told Mary that we were only interested in Joseph as a friend, that maybe that will be the wrong decision to have made. I legitimately don't know. Oh man, they're all gonna line up as these dad planets align. I'll see you next time.